The Seeds of Integrity. In a small village nestled between two mountains, a wise king ruled over a prosperous kingdom. King Virendra was known far and wide for his fairness and love for his people. As he grew older, the villagers began to worry about who would succeed him. The king had no children, and his ministers were unsuitable for the throne. One day, King Virendra announced, "I will find my successor from among the people. The one who proves themselves worthy shall rule after me." He declared a contest, asking every young man and woman in the kingdom to gather at the palace courtyard the following week. On the appointed day, the courtyard was abuzz with excitement. Young villagers from all walks of life had gathered, each hoping to become the next ruler. Among them was Arv, a humble farmer's son. Arv was honest and hard-working, but he doubted whether someone like him could ever become king. The king addressed the crowd, his voice calm but commanding. "Each of you will receive a seed today," he said, holding up a small pouch. "Take the seed home, plant it in a pot, and nurture it. In 6 months, bring me the plant that grows from it. The one who brings me the most thriving and beautiful plant will be my successor." The villagers received their seeds with a mix of enthusiasm and determination. Arv carefully took his seed and returned home, eager to begin the challenge. At home, Arv chose a sturdy pot, filled it with rich soil, and planted the seed. Every day, he watered it, placed it in sunlight, and spoke to it gently, encouraging it to grow. Days turned into weeks, but nothing sprouted. Arv became anxious. He checked the soil, adjusted the watering, and even sought advice from his father, but the seed remained dormant. Meanwhile, Arv's neighbors boasted of their growing plants. One neighbor, Veer, flaunted a tall and vibrant sapling that seemed to grow overnight. Another, Priya, showed off leaves of dazzling green. Arv felt disheartened but refused to give up. "Perhaps I made a mistake," Arv thought one evening, staring at his empty pot. But his father, an old farmer with a kind heart, placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Son," he said, "you've done everything you could. If the seed doesn't grow, it's not your fault. Stay true to your efforts and present the truth to the king." 6 months passed, and the day of judgment arrived. Arv reluctantly carried his empty pot to the palace, feeling a mixture of shame and dread. When he reached the courtyard, his heart sank. The place was filled with villagers holding lush, flowering plants. The king walked among them, admiring their work. When King Virendra reached Arv, he paused. "Where is your plant, young man?" the king asked. Arv's cheeks burned with embarrassment. "Your Majesty, I did everything I could," he admitted. "I watered the seed, gave it sunlight, and cared for it, but it did not grow." The king's expression remained unreadable as he moved on. Finally, after inspecting every plant, he returned to the dais. "I have made my decision," he announced. The crowd fell silent, eagerly awaiting his judgment. "The next ruler of our kingdom," the king declared, "is this young man here." He pointed to Arv, who stood frozen in shock. The crowd erupted in murmurs of disbelief. "But his pot is empty," someone shouted. The king raised his hand for silence. "The seed I gave each of you was boiled, rendering it incapable of growing. Yet many of you brought me flourishing plants. You replaced the seed I gave you with another, hoping to deceive me. Only Arv was honest enough to bring me the empty pot, despite his fear and shame." The crowd gasped, and Arv's father beamed with pride. The king turned to Arv and said, "You have shown integrity, courage, and humility, the qualities of a true leader. You are the rightful heir to the throne." From that day forward, Arv became a beloved ruler, guiding the kingdom with fairness and honesty. His story became a timeless lesson, teaching generations that integrity and truth are the strongest foundations for leadership and life. Moral of the story: true success comes from honesty and integrity, even when it is difficult. Lies and deceit may bring temporary gains, but only the truth can lead to lasting respect and honor.